What is going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Final Fantasy. I am a little tired today, but it is time to press on. We had some side quests to take care of, I believe. Jumping all over the place again. I really do gotta try and be more consistent with my recordings. As of late, I found myself getting distracted and not being here to record this as much as I should. But we are, of course, gonna address that today. Maybe get a double episode in for you guys before I turn in for the night. So first things first, we have August, which is no doubt going to be for Blackthorn, but it's also a plus sign, which means recipes. Let's find out what he
Heard
needs.
the bad news then, did you?
What bad news?
About Dravost. Blackthorn's old haunt. With the forge and all that. Well, anyway, the mines just down the road from there are spewing at Aoife like no one's business.
And the village?
Safe from the flood for now, but they've got other problems. Akashic. Every creature in the area's either turned, or on the way to turning, apparently. Zoltan and the others are living on borrowed time. They need help, and quick. Doris sent a few curse breakers to keep an eye on things, but there's only so much a couple of scouts can do. Except get eaten. If something ain't done soon, the old place will be overrun.
We'll definitely hop in on that.
I won't let that happen.
Maybe they can treat us to some armor pieces or a big sword.
No.
I thought it might be better if he didn't. He'd only do something stupid. You reckon we should tell him?
No.
Yeah.
It's better this way.
Yeah, we should probably keep that until after the fact, right?
I can't stand about knowing what's happening out there, so I'm off.
There's no sense.
I'll see you in Dravost.
There's no sense him rushing to assist his birthplace with a big hammer. He's better off here. We can fight better than him, so there's no point dragging him into that. Now, what is that in Mid's laboratory? It's hard to tell where these plus signs are sometimes, but I'm pretty sure it's up here. Last episode was quite fun too. Man, I don't think I touched on this enough last episode, but Barnabas Thom, Odin's dominant, is very cool. He's one of the better villains I've seen in video games for a while. The way that he presents his arguments, zero wavering. I mean, of course he's a religious zealot, which is quite surprising that a man of that kind of power and prowess is so willing to be a pawn. But the way that he presents himself, the way that he speaks, your first encounter, he puts his arm behind the back and kind of duels you before he swats you away. And then the second encounter, my man split the ocean in half and then sends you on your merry way with a flood, basically telling you to like get gooder before you come back again. I'm a big fan of Barnabas Thom, and I look forward to evolving to the point where we can beat him.
Ah, Sid. Just the man I was hoping to see. Did you have a mo?
What did you
Don't
need?
tell me. You need more bomb ash.
Oh no, we still got plenty of that left. I'm working on bringing another one of the chief's designs to life. This time, it's a new smelter. It's got a reverberatory hood over the top for additional thermal amplification and a system of reciprocal recirculatory regenerators that
That was a lot of R's.
let's just say it gets very blimmin' hot. A
Much
heck of a
better,
lot
that's-
hotter than anything Blackthorn's got in his forge.
Gets
that's
very
for certain.
blimmin' hot is way more my
These
speed.
wedges get hotter, and you can't chuck ore in one of them and get metal out the other end. Trouble is, we won't be able to make out of any old rubbish neither. We need the good stuff.
Then
And
you'll
I
get the good
hear
stuff.
You once helped Helena get her hands on exactly that. Any chance you could help me
You know, one thing I just realized is a pretty long time ago now in this Let's Play, we were running into all these fallen ruins that I could interact with, but when I did, nothing happened. And I had said that I feel like eventually when I learn how to awaken my power, I'll probably be able to unlock those as little dungeons or something. And that actually never went anywhere. And I just now realized that it never went anywhere. We gotta hit the reading room. I have nothing in the garden. Okay, so the reading room is the last place we need to go before we head out. Yeah, that never went anywhere. I suppose there's still plenty of time left in the game. Perhaps that's something to do with the DLCs, I'm not sure. But I would like that to go somewhere. It would be fun to add some deep ruin exploration to this game. I mean, just look at it. Looking out of this just makes me want to explore it. Like the mountains, the ocean, the ruins, the hillsides, the lost villages to the ether floods. I want all the smoke. Give me like a $2,000 game. I'm down. If you can make the content, I'll play it.
Stew's awfully thin these days.
I think I'm probably one of the only people that wishes games that take hundreds of hours were longer, but there you have it. A healer's place. Thank you for helping me guide my mentor free from his mortal coil. Contrary to what the madding crowd believes, we physicers are not without our limits. I cannot hope to cure every ill, mend every wound, save every life. The only medicine that will see you home safe without fail is prevention. Not that this knowledge will ever stop any of you from chasing down some behemoth for its toenails. Taya. Alright, Captain Doris. So, I and the other curse breakers have grown concerned regarding the well-being of our captain. Despite the apparent unrest her recent investigations have visited upon her, Lady Doris refuses all offers of assistance. If it is not too much trouble, I would ask that you please speak with the captain and learn what troubles her so deeply.
There's no way of knowing if Doris will confide in me, but I can speak to her at least.
Seems like a good decision. Right, now, on top of everything else that went down last time, it seems we actually have something we could just look at right there. On top of everything else that went down last episode, we also did get a new subclass, which I'm quite excited to try out. I did to go ahead and equip her. We have Ice Age right here, because that seems like it's another situation of wind up where you stop it in the red and it's a big, beefy attack. You'll see it here in a second where I stop in the red right there. Yeah, that seems quite good. And if you do the Phoenix Shift version of it, dodge into people, it seems like it can freeze them. So I'm very interested in trying that. Of course, we put Diamond Dust up there on the top. The stagger damage that thing had was nuts. So, curious to try out all that. We'll get to mess with the new abilities this episode while we're off side questing. Which is very cool pace-wise that they decided to throw a bunch of side quests your way every time you get new things.
Where are you?
Can I help you, Sid?
I'm looking for Doris. Is she here?
I'm afraid not. She's at Martha's Rest on a job. My job, actually. When she heard what the mission was, she insisted on going herself. Alone.
Why
Did she?
alone?
What was the mission?
Following up on some new information. Once they'd settled in, the bearers you helped liberate in the Dragon's Eyrie were keen to talk about their imprisonment. And about their captor.
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by the Beastmen. I'll go and find her. She's at Martha's Rest, you say?
If she's not moved on already, yes. I hope everything's all right.
Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be worried.
I mean, anything to do with freeing slaves and killing slavers, sign me up. All aboard that train. Oh my. Well, that's quite the selection we've got going on here. Let's start at the top right and work our way down, I suppose. We have two in Northreach, so we'll start there. Might be a little bit of a long one here, but it should be fun. We got things to learn. What's this? It's in the city. I'm surprised this place is holding up as well as it is.
There were ghosts at the gates not days
The Crystalline Dominion soldiers here seem to be holding up again. I wonder if they had any dragoons.
Things I said.
I'm also excited to see what happens with Dion and Bahamut's dominant.
So
Because he went back to the Dominion and got picked up by that one Physica child. I'm curious to see what if he's going to be making a comeback.
Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
Not a fan of the working girls, is he?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist.
I was about to say,
Now he goes by his noble title. the
is there
Duke
even
of
still one of
Oriflamme.
those?
And what does he want with
Did I check the
Northreach?
Empire was an
He
ash?
wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrek. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me,
Well, aren't most of
I
those
have
people
used every
customers
means
of yours?
persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
That's a
What
switch,
does
eh?
Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrek. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No.
Then Philippe and you need to offer
Any
them a
attempt
vision
to
too.
incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men. If it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation. Least of all when it serves
Be
only
surprised
to
how
elevate
fast people
others.
are to hop on
Who could blame them?
a vision of everybody.
Clive.
Unity, prosperity.
Would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf?
You can show somebody a dream,
For your
they'll
services to Northreach.
happily try and make it a reality.
You have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to his eminence.
Especially in
if you
times
ask
of crisis like this.
And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try?
I would say, if anything, a bond of loyalty
could
should
hardly
force
fare
you to
any
speak
worse
your
than
mind
I
to
did.
somebody. You can be loyal to somebody and still give them your opinion.
I'll see what I can do.
I think if you truly are loyal to somebody, you owe them your honest opinion.
Tell me then. Where will I find this
Loyalty
Duke of
doesn't mean
Oriflamme?
silence. Loyalty
The
means
garrison.
assistance.
Overseeing the
Doesn't have to be
troops.
silent assistance.
All right.
You can tell
Wish me luck.
your best friend that they fucked up, that they did something wrong, right? Like, your best friend argues with his girlfriend or his partner, whatever. You can tell him, like, you're totally in the wrong there, but also, like, fuck
I
them.
may have met this Duke before. I don't
You can be
remember his
loyal
family.
and honest at the
Let's hope
same
I didn't
time.
make a strong impression.
It's a fine balance, and it's hard to figure out, but once you do, it becomes quite easy. What I found over the years is that the more you just speak your mind, the less you have to worry about anything, because regardless of it all, at least it's true, right? At least you said what you thought, so you don't have to backtrack or worry about what you said, because you just say what you think. Makes all the encounters in life quite easy.
Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
If you have somebody who has loyalty that inspires people to silence around you, then that seems more like fear to me, more than respect and loyalty. And
So,
fear wanes.
you are the sellsword
True
who
loyalty
lent his
doesn't.
aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have
We
a
already
place
see
here.
how he thinks.
Pride of place, in
That's
fact.
his lens.
For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt.
Save the sales
beginning
pitch, I'm not
here
Imperial.
in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
Until they send a big enough
I
horde.
fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government.
People forced to fight way less efficiently than people who choose to fight.
That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of
I
the
mean,
Empire.
you already see how he thinks though, right?
Yet
I
there
thought
are
we were
those
complaining for
who
our own
persist
job,
in
like we were
peddling
gonna
the
lose a
treasonous
couple gil
lie
for
that
monster
I
hunting.
seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And without
In
citizens,
yours,
there
will
are
be
no
only
empire.
beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later.
Just gonna leave him to that, huh?
A citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's
I
begin.
mean, I
with the
feel
business
like
of the
for the
war.
most part, these people were just hanging out here as a nice little border town. Most of this place revolves around the Vale, right? The prostitutes. I imagine most of them want to come out here and sell their wares, go home, eat some dinner, and then
You
head
needn't
over to the
fret.
whorehouse.
Creatures have been built.
I imagine that's most of these people's concerns.
There were ghosts at the
You
gate.
can go see the local madame. Yeah, back to what I was saying about loyalty and fear. You see that in a lot of media, actually, but also in history. So for media-wise, you have things like Game of Thrones, right? Tywin Lannister is the perfect example. He inspires a lot of loyalty, but if you pay attention, most people are loyal to him out of fear, because they know what happens. They know about the Red Wedding, they know about the Reigns of Castamere, and look what happens with him and Tyrion when that fear finally wears out, which it always does. People always get old, they always get weak, they always get sick. The same thing happens with monkeys in society. The alpha monkey, or the strong one that bullies everybody and is mean and brutish, eventually all the monkeys gather together and they tear him to shreds. That's what happened to Tywin with Tyrion in the bathroom. I won't go too far into that just in case, for whatever reason, anybody hasn't seen Game of Thrones yet, but it always wavers. And so if you are the kind of person that inspires silence with loyalty, I would look in the mirror about that and see if people are actually just afraid of consequence. And that doesn't necessarily mean like they're afraid of you like killing them. This is not medieval England, but still, Are you the kind of person that gets offended easily? Are you the kind of person that gets upset easily? Do people just avoid telling you the truth because they think you'll get upset and they don't want to deal with arguing with you? Because if your closest friends can't tell you things you don't necessarily want to hear, there's likely an issue with either you or them that you should probably look at, because that's not healthy. And so, always be honest with everybody. Your honest opinion is the truth, and the truth is never a problem. That's my take.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, only for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be a common opinion, but also one that ends in him likely hanging from the battlements with the chocobos in the Imperial armory anyways. Once it gets to martial law, if they have to kill you to take it, they'll kill you to take it. We'd probably try and avoid a peasant revolt if we can, because that only ends one way. You'll notice that these people don't have swords.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
And I imagine their bearers, if they even have any, still have quite the problem here too, since we destroyed all the mother crystals. I'm not actually sure how that works, but I would imagine they have less juice now, because there's not even any mother crystals in all of Storm. But then again, I do suppose they just kind of draw it from the land, which doesn't solve the Blight's problem as long as bearers are still forced into working like that, because it'll take way longer, but they are still sucking all the ether from the land. Maybe the mother crystals just did it faster than it could be replenished.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
See, loyalty.
Well, the people seem
Actual
united
loyalty.
enough. What about the soldiers?
He gives them what they want. They get warmth and comfort and something to spend the hard-earned money on at the end of the day. And peace, some kind of guidance. It's a vision, right? Peace, prosperity. This dude wants to flip it all over to return to the empire that spat on these people when they didn't need them. So it's understandable that they have their opinions on it. Now the opposite side of the coin here is obviously going to be all the soldiers. I'm sure they're going to be whole hog for the glory, because they have a vision too, right? They're warriors, and they're being sold a dream of their warrior code being rewarded. They get to fight for what they believe in. They get strength, they get order, they get priority, higher pay. It's all going to mean something. They're going to restore the empire to a safe world. Be the kind of person who was drawn to become a soldier. You'd be very drawn to that vision.
You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie. Not with the town or the empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us some men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it.
Which is a very fair perspective. And also for them, like, these soldiers grew up in the empire, right? They're from Sambrek. So they want their kids to have the safety, as he sees it, of the Empire. And so if anything they could do to restore that, it'd be whole hog for, right? It makes sense.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
I don't think there even is an emperor anymore. Well, technically it'd be Dion, right? He's the last of the line, but... Sorry, Toggle. Just shoving you down the stairs. I don't think Dion is in any state to rule. Officially, I don't think there is an emperor, so I guess they're all just doing what they're told, which is also common among soldiers of lower ranks. It's all above their pay grade. You point, I shoot.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. But I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
That is a dangerous precedent to just confiscate things you need for the Empire or for the people or whatever you're gonna say. That's a fine line to tread, because when does he decide when he needs it again? When does he decide if he needs more? What would be better would be to appeal to them, and some of them will donate in their own best interest, and if they don't, you convince them. You don't just take at sword point. It's a very bad idea. Significantly bad.
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how.
Hopefully we haven't just inspired him to do something rash.
So I better go. Thanks again.
Use your words, don't stick your sword in his back. You know, we really didn't get as much combat done as I thought we would.
Philippe wants to do the right thing at least.
I
Isabel will be pleased to hear that.
I expected some fighting. This was mainly me just yapping about my philosophy on things. It's already been going for 30 minutes. We gotta get into some action at some point. Lest we end up with a video of me just talking.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare?
Good, I think.
Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes.
You gotta sell him a vision too if you want to compete.
Trying. But the battle is lost.
Dame for mayor.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us.
And so you've achieved that by
lady.
stepping down from the military
It was
and
you who finally
losing your
convinced me, Clive.
contacts. Weren't you a
No
captain
point
before,
following
so you
orders
could
that
have
go against everything you believe.
ordered them to defend certain parts? That seems like an interesting move.
Standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope. And one which still lies within our grasp.
That would be the vision you could sell.
We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of
He's
standing
hopeless.
together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Simmer down, we're on YouTube here.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
As always, we'll be there when we're required. The interesting part of being a soldier is, he touched on it a little about not believing in the orders. A lot of times you just kind of have to trust that your superior's orders are the right orders. You don't have time to think about those in the middle of things. Like a lot of these soldiers right here, they don't get paid to think about rebuilding empires and those geopolitical decisions. They just get paid to fight and defend, at least what they think is defense. So they don't want to hear all that. They just want to get back to doing what they've been doing their whole lives. And you kind of just have to trust in your commanders at that point. And if you're led astray, you're led astray. But it's not your responsibility to think about that. Which I think is part of what's so attractive about that lifestyle, right? Is it takes a lot of heat off your back knowing that someone else has made that decision for you. And now how am I supposed to freeze attack with this? Oh, that's how it's done, okay. That's a double tap. I see. Okay, let's check this for a second. Seems strong. The beauty I noticed about all of the Shiva abilities is they're actually on a very fast cooldown. I mean, you saw how fast that was cooling down right there. So, let's see. Got this. Get his attention. Let's see how Diamond Dust does. Wow. Okay. That's how Diamond Dust does. Get 29,000 out of that. So Diamond Dust is just insane. Oh, I let that go way too fast. Yeah, diamond dust seems like it's just insane. I was wondering if I have to range that correctly. You get this back pretty quickly too, diamond dust. The cooldown on that is nuts. Let's go. Yeah, diamond dust is hefty. Great stagger potential. I just need damage dealers for when the stagger is off, because the stagger potential on this build is nuts. Like, we have impulse, which is all stagger, basically. We have gouge, which is all stagger. We have diamond dust, which is all stagger. We have this that's just keeping our immunity and constant little pepper damage. So I just need damage. And this is a 3-star damage and a 4-star damage. Ice Age I'm not sold on yet. We might actually drop Ice Age at some point. I'll keep messing with it a little. We might drop this out for Judgment Bolt, maybe. Or Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod seemed to be doing a lot of good work for me constantly, so we might go back to Lightning Rod. Haven't decided yet. The Cold Snap ability seems very cool. So I like Cold Snap. That'll definitely be staying. Just gotta figure out if I want Frostbite or not. I don't know if I don't think the video is released yet on Gigaflare, but I did ask in that video if anybody could explain to me why the damage seems so lackluster, and if somebody does explain that, then I'll go ahead and switch back to it and try your explanation. So, if you all randomly see the Gigaflare popped back up at some point in my videos, you will know why. It's because somebody explained it to me and now it makes sense to me, and I am veered way off where I was meant to go. Whoops. My train of slaughter and rambling thoughts got the best of me there. Mosey on back. But I missed a turn for a second, but it's not. I just went down the complete wrong path. On autopilot, just chit-chatting to you guys. Let's see. I assume we're killing something for this quest, but I'm not actually sure. I don't remember which one it even is. Ah, the Fallen Ruins. Okay.
I need to deal with these ones first.
Okay, well. That sounds like a present. Get a taste. See what the gold one does.
Now to find this spherical echo.
Here it'll be.
This is it. Right then. Just two more to find.
Yeah, I would have liked to have figured out Gigaflare on my own. I don't typically like asking for help and spoilers like that, but man, I just couldn't get it to work. The damage numbers dropped significantly since Lightning Rod and Judgment Bolt. We got over 60k just on a regular damage cycle, and now we're like barely hitting 30 again. So I like halved my damage by switching up what I was doing. Which, I mean, numbers would tell me to just put this back to Judgment Ball and Lightning Rod, right? But of course I'm not going to do that because I'm stubborn and I like messing around with stuff. Wind Up is fun, and so is Ice Age. Although maybe Ice Age will be dropped for Lightning Rod. It'll be interesting to see how much of that damage was coming from Judgment Ball or how much of that was coming from Lightning Rod. I suspect a lot of it is Lightning Rod. I did also have the genius idea to go back to Giga Flare with Lightning Rod and shoot my Giga Flare through my Lightning Rod into the enemy. See how much damage that ended up with, but...
Clive, you'll be
so far I haven't had
negotiations are progressing well.
That is good news.
Chance to try that.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
Suppose.
What is it this time? More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
And he didn't want me to inform her that he's keeping an eye on things, right? He wants her to think that it's all her, if I remember correctly.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but...
No buts about it, all right?
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
And you had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were so close.
Maybe the offer was so good they couldn't refuse.
What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
Dhalmekians don't seem like they would be fair negotiators.
I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to.
Especially not anymore.
How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us, then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it.
Okay, this guy meddles too much.
Is this what she really wants?
He's frustrating me.
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell.
That part's correct, but all this, I have to meddle to give her what she wants, even if she doesn't know she wants it thing. Like, let her decide, dude. It's not your fate, it's not your destiny, it's not your path. Worry about yourself. This dude's annoying.
If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
He reminds me of one of those... Not necessarily... How do I word that? Here, have you guys ever had a friend...
To Randalar, then.
Where they will constantly talk you in and out of things that you don't or do think is a good idea because they just seem to want to control what you're going to do. Because I sure have. And he gives me that vibe hard. Like he just wants to be in control of the situation no matter what. Where are you taking me? 400. How long we've been going here? We've been going for 46 minutes, so I probably, in all seriousness, I should probably split the episode. We still got so many side quests to get through. It's not even including whatever's gonna happen when we get to Ash. Yeah, we're gonna have to split it. There's too much here for me to get down in one, so I suppose I will wrap it up here. In the next episode, we'll go deal with this consortium issue and get the rest of the side quests out. Maybe. We'll probably be able to get it done a lot faster since we won't have to pick anything up next time. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, as always, there is a tip link in the description below alongside the playlist for the whole entire series. If you do particularly enjoy my content, you can go ahead and check out my main page of my YouTube channel. That you'll see every Let's Play I've done so far up there on the channel. It's in its own category called Let's Plays, so that's there for you guys. My socials are also in my description if you're interested in that. I have my Blue Sky and my Twitter there if you want to catch up with me outside of my Let's Plays. I sometimes randomly post my opinions on games, media, movies, TV shows, things like that. Or otherwise, if you're only interested in this, then stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Final Fantasy. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.